everybody, my name's Rose Smith from AbsoluteSoulSecrets.com. Thanks for joining me for the Passionate Pisces June horoscope. It's a bit of a quieter month this month, and I'm so grateful for that after everything that's happened in May. I'm actually recording this on the 25th of May. It's just been a full-on month with the lunar eclipse and Mercury retrograde and a whole lot of other things happening. And we're going to have a bit of a slowdown in June, which is wonderful. So it's the beginning of winter in the southern hemisphere and the beginning of summer in the northern hemisphere. We do have Mercury retrograde up until the 3rd or the 4th of the month if you're in Australia and New Zealand. And that can bring miscommunications or misunderstandings, problems with your devices. So it's a really good idea if you can back your devices up. Anything important, make sure you get it in writing, by the way. If you have to sign a contract, then you may need to go back and revisit that at a later time, because when Mercury turns direct again, things change. So there could be some update. I know I've been trying to get quotes for blinds. Oh my God, the problems getting with logistics, getting stuff to Australia now is incredibly bad. Anyway, but the good news about Mercury retrograde is that anything you started before, say around the 3rd of May, it may come back for completion. So you can probably, sign off on some projects, some craft projects or work projects or something like that. You can finish up stuff. Sometimes you hear news from the past, from old lovers or old jobs people used to go to school with and stuff like that as well. And then there's a shadow period after the 3rd and the 4th of maybe 5 to 7 days, just depends which astrologer you talk to, where the energy of Mercury direct is not full on, but it's approaching, being full on, if that makes sense. Hope that's not too convoluted. The other thing to note, Mercury is in your 3rd house of communications, promotions, marketing, your local area study. So there could be issues with miscommunications in these areas. So do watch that. Or travel, actually, too. If you're traveling for business and you need to promote something in business, might be a bit dicey until, say, after about roughly the 7th of June, things should improve. Okay, the other thing to note is that we have Saturn in Aquarius. It's retrograde in your 12th house. Saturn is often about putting boundaries or structures around things. Retrograde means it's going to probably slow down, or you've got to find a new way of dealing with your spirituality or your subconscious, what goes on. It could be, if you are a reader or an astrologer, it could be that it's a bit of a dry time. You find it harder than usual to connect to spirit. But in any case, you should still continue with whatever daily practice you have, basically. Don't give up, of course, because it will change. And it's 25 degrees, 15 minutes in Aquarius. So basically spends about 2.5 years in each sign, so you've still got a few more months. It's going to be in the 12th house there. The other thing to note is that Neptune is in Pisces, and for you that's in your sign. Okay, so that brings a really spiritual vibe to your life, but again, it's in retrograde, so things could be a bit quieter, and it'll be in retrograde until the 3rd of December. Okay, so your sign there in the 1st house is probably about your identity, your belief systems, your core belief systems, your physical appearance to the world. So you might want to change how you look, for example, and put out more of a spiritual vibe. But it's probably a bit more subdued than what it would be if Neptune wasn't retrograde. Alrighty, so just to briefly explain, I like to draw 2 tarot cards as theme cards for the month for you, and then we'll have a look at your horoscope in depth. Okay, let's go to the board now. And if you are new, please consider subscribing to the channel. hit that notification bell right now. Okay, here's your chart and here's the cards. Let's have a look what the cards have to say for passionate Pisces for June. I can see a white door opening up in front of me. A whole heap of cards just flew out, so I'm not going to read all of those because we're only looking for one card at this minute. Let's go with this one. I've got the colour aqua in my face, blue and green. The desires of the heart meet the communication skills of the throat, and my throat actually is feeling something right now. I'm talking about it. It's like a lump in my throat. It could be some emotion coming up. You might become aware of some blocked emotions that are rising up your spine, like Kundalini energy rising up the spine. Just pay extra attention to your throat and neck area, and don't do anything risky with regard to exercise or movement of your neck, because all of this energy, I just feel it's coming up and something's going to come out of your mouth. It's the truth, by the way. It's this blocked energy that's been held down for a long time, and it is the truth. And maybe it would be a good idea to start writing about this. King of Wands, inspiration, motivation. How have you been keeping your inspiration or your motivation? How has it been locked down inside your body so you haven't freely been able to express the totality of the motivational energy that's deep down inside you? I've now got energy rising up the left side of my face, the feminine side. If you are a woman, you might have been socialised, especially if you were born in the 1940s, 50s, 60s. You might have been socialised to, think that women are less than. We're just having a big revolution here in Australia at the moment. We've just had a change of government. The Conservative government that we had they really had women as, somebody from the Handmaid's Tale, second-class citizens. And now I'm just really feeling it in my chest. The more I talk about it, the bigger it's getting. And it's in my chest now as well. It's the rise of the divine feminine. I have spoken about that before here on YouTube. And if you're a Piscean, you're probably going to feel it even more so. This is huge. This is I know why I'm seeing aqua. It's actually teal. This is the rise of the teal independence. Right, okay. They're going to have a lot to say. They're going to change the future of Australia in a positive way for women and minority groups. Yay, I'm sick of white middle-aged men running the show, and even women in Australian politics have to toe the line, or they're just sidelined, basically, just ignored. Anyway, this is fabulous because there's a lot of growth and opportunity here. Something I'm picking up, particularly for Pisceans in business, which sounds weird because Pisceans don't often go into business, but it's more the metaphysical, the arts, the musical, the entertainment industry, things like that. Lots of opportunities coming for women in business. I think there'll be even grants for women just to get started in business. And these businesses that are about caring, helping, the helping professions. And you could see government grants for, people to help with disabilities, for example, or nursing or something like that. Anyway, a lot of action coming. Yellow, the solar plexus, success, accomplishment. It's practical too. The focus is not only on empathy. The focus is on practicality. This is practical skills. Putting empathy into everyday life in a practical way. So it's fabulous. The sun, insight, awareness, happiness. I just feel a sense of happiness. Not only for you, Pisceans, because you're going to get the wash off of this, but also for the Australian people. All right, second. That's probably a very unusual interpretation of the King of Wands. Oh, well, you don't come here for same old, do you? All right, the second card, what do I see? First, I saw a little white old-fashioned car, and it's moving slowly, but it's getting there, and this is the old way of doing things. And then the next thing I saw was a highway, but it was like an American highway. You know how they have like 12 lanes, 6 lanes in either direction? We don't have anything like that in Australia. And it was like a 12-lane highway, and there was all these modern white cars, and they were all lined up in a row, and they were taking off. It was a bit like a race. So, you know, when you hear it's not a race, it is a race. And then it's like a good-natured race, because it's not who gets first is the winner and nobody else counts. It's like everyone's a winner in this race. I'm going to go with that one. I wonder what the one that I'm not going with says. It says Knight of Swords. Okay, this sort of makes sense, because we've just been through a very swordy period of analytical, well, it's not even really in my mind, it's not, but that kind of logical pragmatism, okay? And we've got the Emperor here, which is what we've just been through, basically. We've been looking down, that sort of, sorry, I just lost my train of thought. Anyway, so I've got multiple things coming in at the same time. That's what the issue is here. But this is still around, and it's not going anywhere. And in the next couple of months especially, we can expect this controlling, dominating type energy to try and assert its presence, because it's like the Emperor is actually being cut down, so to speak, and it's like that controlling energy doesn't go anywhere. It's out of power to some extent, but it still wants to assert itself. So it's not really going away, and it's going to take time, and it's going to take the rise of women to do that. And the Piscean energy will actually herald the way forward, basically. So passionate Pisces, you may come up against people that dominate, manipulate, or try to control you in some way in June. And the way to deal with it is to play by the rules. Don't try and do anything underhanded, because they'll get you. But play by the rules, and doing that, you'll find that it's only for a time, and things are going to work out actually better. You can actually, some people like this energy because it's stable. It provides security, safety. They know where they are. They know what they have to do. Okay, I'm not one that likes it, but some people like it. And as a Piscean, you can go with the flow. So there's a way through for you here. So don't be surprised if this energy comes across your path, but you can find a way through. Like water, you go with the flow and you'll find your own way. So don't be concerned. Alrighty, let's have a look at your horoscope. Now I'm just going to make this bigger, and I'm going to put that like that so that you can see, and we'll put that like that. Okay. So I just had this huge energy coming up, and it was hard to talk. That's the only thing I find sometimes when trying to read on the fly. Okay, so a very private chart this month, with a lot of activity down here in your subconscious. Your ruler Neptune's here in your side, but it's also retrograde. Okay, so it's a time basically when you change gears, maybe slow down a bit if you can. And go to a slower pace of life and look within. Mercury retrograde, I've already talked about. Saturn in Aquarius, I've talked about. Okay, so from the 8th of June to the 12th of June, Mercury trines Pluto. This is fabulous, because it's like when you have a conversation with someone, people are really going to pay attention to you. It's like your conversations have impact. You'll get right to the core of the matter. It's a great time to investigate complex problems and look for something that's been lost or hidden. And you can also learn a lot about yourself and your own inner depths. You might even be dreaming about the ocean. Hopefully you won't be dreaming about tidal waves or tsunamis. I don't think so. I don't think it's as big as that. But it's like you'll be on the bottom of the ocean but enjoying yourself exploring or something like that. 14th of June says Sagittarius. It's a supermoon in your 10th house of career, reputation, social status, community, your contribution to the greater world. So there could be some sort of bit of a shake-up here, so that you become a bit more concerned about the path of your life, and whatever you tend to do can become public. Your thoughts on things become public, and people see more of the personal side of you, whether you want them to or not. 11th to the 14th of June, Mercury squares ascendant. It's time to be alert and on your toes now. Now, this is where you've got to slow down, because it's like your life is getting a bit hectic. It seems more fast-paced, and the universe is telling you to slow down. So, yeah, just take note of that and put the date 11th to the 14th. You could be a little bit irritable or aggravated about something, and there's a possibility that there'll be extra work, and, that's a bit stressful. 11th to the 4th of July, Mercury moves into your 4th house here of home and family. You could be thinking about the past. Mercury is direct now, so, things are starting to move forward, but you're still thinking about the past, and you could also hear about people you used to go to school with, or people you used to know, or an ex or something like that. If there is some sort of long-standing problem between you and somebody else, it's possible that it could come up now, and there might be a way to fix it, okay, to resolve matters, and positive communications are likely to help. The 6th of June to the 21st of June, Jupiter conjuncts Mars, giving you a ton of physical energy and stamina. You feel more enthusiastic and positive now. You feel like you can take on challenges. Those things have just been hanging around that you got to do, and you just never get around to doing it. You probably have more energy to do that, and you've got a very positive can-do attitude. You could be feeling a little bit athletic, and the extra boost of energy helps you with sports or exercise. Only thing there to watch is that you don't overdo it, because you might feel so well that you go out gardening and do a lot of work, and then you've got a sore back or something afterwards. Don't overdo it. So your self-confidence is high, and other people in general welcome your very enthusiastic personality. Then we have the 19th of June to the 22nd of July. The Sun moves into the 5th house here. You feel energized, creative, romantic. It's great if you're looking for romance. This is a great time. You could express yourself more freely and playfully. There could be, you could be looking at entertainment and leisure and pleasure and going out and having fun. Particularly arts, sports, games, and general entertainment. The pictures, things like that, concerts could appeal a lot to you now. 21st of June to the 17th of July, Venus moves into your 4th house of home and family here. Venus is a beautiful energy, and you probably want to make your house more comfortable or more pleasing, more beautiful. And so you could be decorating around your home. Venus also looks after money, so you could be spending money on your family as well as your home. You could be feeling quite affectionate towards family members, and it's time to, entertain friends or family during this time. 29th of May to the 28th of July sees Neptune sextiling Mercury, and you're likely to be feeling more sympathetic and understanding of other people. You're already quite tolerant and understanding, generally speaking, but this will be even more so. And even if other people disagree with you, you sort of, work your magic and get through to them. You seep through the cracks. And it's also a great time for speaking and writing with great sensitivity now. Your imagination is very vivid. If you've got any psychic ability, it's likely to be much stronger now. And anything to do with philosophy, spirituality, or psychic ability is strengthened now. So it's a great time if you're in the metaphysical industry here on YouTube, a psychic or an astrologer. All right, so that's it passionate Pisces. I hope that all makes sense to you. Sorry at the start there, I could just feel it's a bit hard to control this overwhelming feeling coming up here off my chest. And thankfully, as a nation, because I'm Australian obviously, but yeah, I love my country, and I was very worried about the direction we were going. So now I just feel a sense of relief, great relief. Okay, thanks for watching, and if you are new, subscribe and be alive and hit that notification bell right now. Have a wonderful month, everyone, and I'll see you all again soon. Bye for now. Thanks so much for watching. Please visit my website absolutesoulsecrets.com for all things spiritual. Have a lovely day.